Hello and welcome again, viewers new and returning to Saviours DND, our weekly Dungeons and Dragons stream. Good to see a few of you there in chat, and hello. We are here again to continue the adventures of our party, the Redwall Saviours. And if you've not already done so, we'd be really grateful for you to follow us here at twitch.tv/SavioursDnD, and also our Twitter and our YouTube, where we post our VODs into bite-sized portions later on in the week, and their links are below the stream. We also have a lovely sponsor, Libris Arcana, so if you're in need of some really good quality dice and use the code SAVIOURS at the checkout for their monthly dice subscription, you'll get 25% off the first month. And I use their dice. They are very good quality dice, and might as well take yourself a discount if you need one. And without further ado, player introductions. Who shall I pick on? I'm going to go with Mr. Emeros, because you are always very trustworthy.
What the fuck does that mean?
I do my best. Alright, hello everyone, I'm Emeros, and I play Cyric, the yuan-ti druid, multi-class 2 warlock.
Indeed. Thank you very much. I'm going to go Dombro next.
Yeah. The second most trustworthy. I don't know what you're trying to cause World War II.
I should have said that. I'm trying to tear us apart with Civil War.
Tearing us apart. Yeah, I am Dombro, and I play a little gnomish boy named Alton. He is an interesting creature from the Fae. He's not from this. Well, so far as he's aware, he's not from this area, which is the material. What is it called? The material realms?
Material plane.
Material plane.
Yeah.
So he actually is a mute bard, so he doesn't actually speak. He speaks through the help of his white raven quill. So anytime he's speaking or casting spells or anything like that, it will actually be through the bird, and he will be doing all sorts of gestures.
And was it after last week's stream you got that cool art from Dan? A bit of fan art from...
I did. I haven't plugged it in. I'll get it at the break. Maybe.
Because I haven't. But just nevertheless, thank you, Dan. It's always a pleasure.
It was awesome. Dan is the man, and he often supports our stream above and beyond what he ever has to do. But it's great when we get that message of, so I've been doing something. And it's like, whoa.
Terrorblade, so you're ready to introduce your character?
Ooh, can I do something really quick, actually?
Of course you can.
Of course. Here we go.
Yeah, see, this is why I'm not trustworthy. I entered a competition with Penance, and I won this very special D120 for a limerick that I wrote. And it is basically perfect, because if you know Alton at all, he kind of has these crazy charges of magic, and this will be deciding what that does. So, yeah, really cool. Shout out to Penance RPG. They're really cool.
Indeed. Good friends of ours, and I'm also on one of their podcasts, so as a cast member.
Yep.
Right, Jabber, do you want to... I don't know why you're giving me the evil eye, Jabber. It's not as though I took your post. You've already in like 5 different D&D games. It's fine.
Listen,
do you want to go whilst Terror seems to have abandoned us? So if you take over.
I'm Jabber. I'm the one who's always eating on stream. I play Scale, a monk, water soul shift shark person.
Yeah, indeed. I'll just introduce Terror, seeing as he's run away at the moment. He plays Mara Clearwater, who is a priestess of Joaquin, a human female, and has a companion who's sometimes Terror has control of, sometimes I do, Garvin, the Dwarven Defender. And yes, so that is our party. Last week was quite... I was just listening back. I was saying to Dombro earlier on, I was listening back to the episode this morning, and hadn't quite realised just how much we got through last week in terms of conversations and things. There are a lot in there.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
You could tell we had 2 weeks off. We're all itching to just orc.
It was
Just get it all in there.
Sometimes it does help the creative juices, even though you don't want to have a break in the story.
It's true.
Actually being able to, even if it's enforced where like sickness and things like that, it sometimes helps us. So that's good. Terror, I just introduced Mara for you, seeing as you're away, so apologies. So last week started off with Cyric having a very curious dream that he turned into a rat, and then having to make a very ominous feeling decision between the full moon in the sky and a snake that was trying to get his attention. And when he told the party about this, it realised the horrible truth that he is currently cursed with a form of lycanthropy. The party then, after a few more sort of interactions, moved on to have their meeting with Jarlaxle on his large boat, the Eye Catcher. But slightly mysterious that he had arranged the meeting, and it turned out that he wished to negotiate, to offer to locate and possibly add other support to help free the Overgold, who is in the clutches of the Silken Woe, who he basically said were a big rival, and he didn't, although he could swarm their compound and kill them, he felt that that was an unnecessary risk to his loyal troops, and he didn't want to waste much of his own strength doing so. And what he wanted to do was get the party's help to cut the snake's head off, basically, to excise the leader. And then he felt that the Silken Woe would dissipate. He could take members into his own organisation that he felt worthy. There was lots of negotiations. No final agreement has been come to. Cyric also added in that he required an introduction to Maktar Sol for his involvement as well, and that is now part of the negotiations on the table. And as we sort of finished, Mara had given Jarlaxle a letter with a cipher on it, and this had revealed that something he was unaware of. He knew there was something very secretive happening, and he had not managed to come to the bottom of it. And this document said that, without any great details, but that some agreement had been reached with an illithid hive mind, which nobody in the group knew what an illithid was, apart from Scale. But Scale had only heard tales of them in taverns and things like that, and basically thought they didn't exist. It was like someone saying they had an agreement with the bogeyman. And that's kind of where we left off. So I think I'll throw back to Mara to begin with, but obviously anybody can join in because you're all present. And that we'll go back just a wee bit, that you've just seen Jarlaxle read the note. You, because of your extra perception and dealing with negotiations and your business training, you were the only one to pick up that there was just a small shake of his confidence when he saw the illithids were involved. There was not fear, but a little bit of trepidation that this was something that may give the Silken Woe an edge. And you had asked him whether he would deal with them, and he had quite honestly said that he wouldn't deal with something as evil as that. Although, again, there was just a tiny hint of uncertainty because you never know how much money's involved, but it wouldn't be something that he would normally be swayed to deal with.
Yeah. So we're there.
And I think sort of pass it on you, whether you want to whether you want to say anything to him that you've noticed that, or whether you just want to continue with the negotiations. Because there was lots of things. He was being a little bit insulting. I think at one point he called you a prick tease because you were not in terms of like anything sexual. It was more you were teasing help and support and then sort of pulling back. And it was all part of the flow of negotiations, which I think you said last week, Mara was actually quite enjoying, because it was someone that was not just going, that's 10 gold, will you do it for 8 gold? Yeah, that'll be fine. You know, it's a proper sort of duel of the minds as far as negotiations so far.
Yeah. So things that are on the table currently is the value of help, because he said that he would place us onto the
he said he would get you into their compound, definitely, without alerting any of the patrols or advanced warning. And depending on how the negotiations, he may also provide further support.
Yeah.
And if things went well, he would be able to get you out the same way you went in.
Yeah.
He's also given you, or you've not physically got it, but he said a pouch of 5,000 for giving him the information about the Illithids. Yeah. And when you incited him, you felt that was a lot more than it was worth, and it was a bit of him showing off again, a self-aggrandizement that, the chump change, 5,000, that's fine.
Yeah. Like, effectively, can you break a 500 or whatever?
Yeah, actually just keep the change, because I don't want it.
This bag has holes in it, just take it. Seeing as the danger is mounting, or our understanding of the danger is mounting inside the hold, and we both need this to be a successful mission, what aid can you supply to us for defeating these Illithid?
I will be honest, I had not thought to have to counter such a threat. I will probably have to think on that exactly. We do not know that they are present in the compound, just that there is some sort of emissary coming. So even if they are present, it is maybe only one or two. They don't usually stray far from their hive mind. So I don't think they should represent an exceptional risk in small numbers. But again, I don't want to commit too much until we know a little bit more. But whilst I do not wish a forthright assault on their compound, I am willing to put some of my own men in to help. This is more a small stealth mission, a short shock sort of thing, rather than a full-scale assault. That's really easy for a Scotsman to say. Why so many S's?
I think when he says
I shall go into Sean Connery mode in a shock.
I think when he says stealth mission, Alton will look at Quill. They will both look at Garvin. And they'll both look down at their feet.
Right. We are effectively going to... Because currently the ideal of this mission is that we kill the headmistress and that we acquire the overgold in one fell swoop.
Correct. And you don't care about killing the head of the Silken Wall. I don't care about your overgold, but that is the point that we are negotiating to help each other.
Right. And
I cannot underemphasize that whilst I'm fairly sure you have your opinions on my organisation, the Silken Wall are far more closely aligned to the main Drow cities. Their whole reason is to try and fully reintegrate. They are much greater concern to the peoples of the Sword Coast than my group.
This guy is a slime ball. He's literally saying I'm lesser of two evils, but I am evil.
Yeah. Yeah. can I roll some type of check to know what I know about his organization? Because Mara,
absolutely. Probably a history check.
Right.
But if you don't have history as one of your skills, I'll let you add your proficiency bonus, just because in this case there's a mercantile connection.
I do have 10. It rolled. It was on the 14, and then just went. Eh. So yeah, 10.
10. You know that the Brigand Dearth are a drow mercenary company. Very elite, highly skilled. But they have a 10. I think that's almost about as much as you know about them. You know he's the leader. They are very structured. They have almost like an army. They have a very structured system of leadership, officers and things like that. And they are very mercantile focused. In another realm, they could be a branch of Joaquin. The shield coins. But truthfully, you can't. Mara may not want to admit it, but there are many reflections between her own church and them. But you do know that it is black market is mostly what they are dealing with.
Oh, okay.
They are the anti-heroes.
Jarlaxle.
And also just villains.
Well, So then I can also tell that there's there's a truth to what he says, that his organization is not about the connection to the matron mothers.
I mean, they obviously
will trade with them.
They will deal with them, but they're not the outcasts who try to come back. With a 10, no, Mara probably would not know anything about anything like that. No, a 10 is too bad.
Because they are more mercantile interested, whereas the other group is just interested in doing like Lord's plan and coming back to the matron mothers. No, they're not just interested in that. They're basically trying to mimic Brigand Dearth, but for their own ends. Brigand Dearth's sole reason at the moment, with Jarlaxle at the head, is to make money and aggrandize Jarlaxle. This guy is just an ego, and he just happens to have hundreds of people doing his bidding, and his orders is make me look better. Yeah. The majority of the budget is just his propaganda campaign. His own line of dirty books. Right. The men that you'll send with us, I assume that they also then will have experience, if you're able to send them, will have experience with Illithid and not just fighters. I doubt you will find more than a dozen people in the whole of the realms that has experience of the Illithid. Yes. Well, what you're asking is not something that I can provide, I am afraid. Okay. Stealth mission may not be our greatest strength, but I assume that your organization will have ways to maybe make this assault not only in the case of Illithid, but also sneaking around other drow, because we're not all very stealthy. That is a minor consideration we can deal with after the fact. Just, I think for now, the negotiations of the broader agreement, and then we can look at the fine details after the fact. Of course. You're not wrong in your assertion. And he sort of gives a very, very toothy grin that misdirection and acting out of sight of others is something that we may have a slight Yeah.
experience with as an organization.
Right.
What do you
God damn it.
what do you know
Go
of Karanzin Vandry?
All I know that he is obviously one of the lieutenants of the Silken Wall, high up in its hierarchy, a very dangerous person. Do you have any specific queries about him?
Does he protect this leader you speak of? Would he be in her guard?
And he pauses for a moment and thinks and says, he is an enforcer, high level. He will, if he is in the compound, then he will be close to her side. But he is often sent out to do her will in the lands. However, your letter seems to suggest that she is bringing all of her power home. She's even sent word to the Waterdeep cadre to come home. For some reason, that seems to be that she is focusing her power. So I think we can, whilst I'm not certain, but I think we can safely suggest that he will be present and he will be by her side. He's a fearsome warrior.
We know.
Just nods at that.
Right. Well, I think that we have reached something of an understanding. You will take us into the keep. You'll aid us with the finer details, as you said, with the probability of extra aid, and we shall take care of the head of the Silken Wall, and we shall then also aid with finding and extracting the Overgold. With also, of course, the introduction to the I forgot its name. The Dragon Company? The Dragon
Company.
Dragon's
Company. Dragon's Company. Yes.
Yes, I mean, I have no problem with that. It is a mere matter. As the negotiations sort of continue, say there's a wee bit more sort of thing.
Yeah. The 5% for the...
Cyric, can I ask you to make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, let's see. A wisdom saving throw. You get it. Oh, it's
How are you
16.
doing, Jabber?
16. That's fine. Whilst I shouldn't put these words. Have you been closely following the conversation between Jarlaxle and Mara up to now? Or?
Listening in, but not following body movements.
No, yeah, but I'm following the conversation.
Oh yeah.
I think we're all pretty much entranced at watching Mara using level 5 parlay spells.
I got paid already. I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the gold.
Just as you can sort of see with the sort of the verbal gymnastics that they're doing, that things are starting to come towards an end, and an agreement's going to be put in place of one sort or another. And you just feel your focus go for a second, and you don't lose sight or anything. It just, everything goes a little bit out of focus for a second, and you just hear a familiar whisper in your mind of Zahir, and he just says, "This one could be helpful in furthering our ends. Try and get a private audience with him. If he does indeed excise the Silken Wall, then maybe he can provide us with a cavern for our eggs." And it just feel the shiver down your spine, and it dissipates, and your vision comes back.
I did. Now it's...
Ooh.
I did as well.
I request a squid never says eggs in that voice ever.
Agreed.
Oh.
Eggs in your mind.
God, please.
Stop it! It's right in my brain.
Now tell us about the flowers and the bees in that voice.
Just right there. I was just like, oh.
It comes into the egg.
All right.
I honestly thought that would be Cyric focuses on the cheese on the table as the full moon strikes him in the face.
Whilst Emeros is having a wee think about that, Mara, what I would like you to do is roll 3 perception checks and give me
snap!
Each of them.
Yeah, right.
So not perception checks. I should say persuasion checks. Is what I meant to say. Apologies.
See, come on, Mama needs new shoes.
Did he pull out the bag of money already?
No, he said that he would ensure that you had it before you went back to your boat.
All right.
And he did tell a minion to go and sort it out, but you've not seen it or been given it yet.
Okay.
First one is a 27.
Okay.
No, wait.
Just roll.
You said persuasion, right?
Yeah.
So that's 24.
Okay. And just roll the other 2. Give me all 3 of them.
Oh, that's a crit. So that's 30.
Okay.
And that's an 18. Damn it.
Yeah.
18.
Okay. No, it's not bad.
Plus 10. It's not good.
72.
So I think at that point, Jarlaxle sort of goes to you, well, let us summarise things and I shall write a contract. As I am not a common criminal, I do like to do things properly. I can have it written up and you can all come back and have dinner and some drinks whilst we have let's say a signing ceremony later on.
Ooh. When he says signing ceremony, Mara seems legitimately happy. Why have we been to one of those in so long?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was Mara's
something.
Yeah,
Squid,
absolutely.
could you repeat that last part, please? I think something I cut out, so I didn't hear.
Sorry, what was the last thing you heard?
Something that we should sign the contract and come back.
Right, so what I got was Mara to do some persuasion checks just to see how the negotiations have gone, because we've RP'd a lot of it, but this could literally go on for another 2 episodes if we'd let it go too far. So, there has to be a little bit of pacing.
Gotta rip that plaster off.
And what Jarlaxle has said is he's just about to summarise the agreement. If everyone's okay with it, he'll get a contract signed up and written up, and has invited you back as a group to have a meal and a dinner and a wee signing ceremony to finalise the contract between yourselves.
Yes.
Obviously, you can interject at any point, or you can wait till the end or whatever. But he then goes on to say, so I will provide you with, I'll give you a bit more details of the actual thing, because I think we are on the point of agreement. And just one moment, he turns around and starts, he's got like a sort of honeycomb of boxes with like maps and things in them, and he's pulling them out, and oh no, there we go. And he goes to his table and rolls one out, put weights in the corner, and this is the Silken Wool compound. There we go. It should have appeared on your roll 20.
There we are.
Yeah.
Oh, did you make this map, Squid?
Yes, I did.
It's very nice.
I have marked it with the sort of points of interest. There are obviously things that are not there. But you can see here that's marked 4 and 4 and 5. This is the inner sanctum, the most heavily guarded area of their compound. And although this is not a topography map, this is quite steeply above everyone else, and it is quite an impenetrable. You would need a sizable force to attack them. I have in my possession And he looks at you all as though a modern technical marvel, slightly magical, but mostly gnomish ingenuity. A boat which can sail under the waves. Some, I think the gnomish engineers call it a submarine. It is called the Scarlet Mapinoth, I think. Bear with me, I should double check.
Mar looks confused. I was half expecting, I call it Bluetooth.
Alton looks confused and fascinated.
Have you ever seen, I don't know, and he looks to scale, I'm sure you will have seen these, my dear, rays, eagle rays in the shallows of the sea? Well,
yes.
This is basically a ship that is shaped like a manta ray. It is 80 foot long and about 30 foot wide in the companion bit, but it does have wings to propel it. And it can take a crew of 30 or 40. I can take that so that you can come into the harbour at the dead of night. My men will take out what scant guards are usually there, and we can enter directly into the cave system underneath the keep. Basically circumventing the majority of the defences and the patrols that are available.
That sounds fantastic. I was worried you were going to catapult us into the keep, so this is a much better...
Come to mention it, that sounds a very good ideal, my dear. Maybe I should do that.
But it's not as subtle.
Well,
very true. And I do prefer subtlety.
Can a catapult really send us?
Alton will, when he says that, Alton will just sort of look at him and he'll do the up and down thing, like, who the fuck are you fooling? Like,
and without any insight checks, he's well aware of what he's just said. You know,
oh yeah,
like, fabulous. You know.
Yeah.
And you think at that point, as he sees Alton doing, he'll sort of run his fingers through the huge plumed feather that's sticking out the top of his cap and just gives it a wee bing. Basically, what I would say is that we do that. My men eliminate the lookouts there, and we guard that as your escape route as well, whilst you enter into the compound.
that's 4 and 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Five is the actual wee harbour at sea.
Okay, so we come in through 5.
Yes. And it's, if you think, because it's not topography, like the keep's up here and the harbour's down here, and there's a sort of system of cavern complex in between that goes down to the caves. I believe, I do not have the exact layout of that complex in the keep, but your Overgold is deep in the heart of that cliff. So actually entering from the sea below is probably a quicker journey to get him than from the fort above down.
Yes. That would be best. I mean, who knows what they'll do with the prisoners. Do you think you have any prisoners that you would like allocated from the prison? Anyone associated? I may have said that wrong. Do you think that they have anybody you will want back captured in their prison?
I very much doubt any one of my men that has been captured is alive, but I would like to. I care for my men. I'm not a horrible person. No, I people pledge to come and join the Brigand Earth. I do not force people or press gang them into my service. They're free to come and go, and that is because I do not put their lives at risk unnecessarily. So if there is anyone there that can be saved, then yes, I would like to save them.
Yes, maybe your men can point them out for us.
I think it will be quite clear if there are drow that are beaten and chained and behind bars.
So then the Silken Wall would not have any other drow adversaries then?
I do not quite understand your meaning. I mean, the majority of my own people are drow, although I do have some orcs and goblins and humans and dwarves and gnomes, but the vast groundswell of my own troops are drow.
Okay. No, I was just wondering if the Silken Wall would have any other adversaries within the Drow people, but I guess not.
Well, not actively chasing them and at war. They have become necessary because, like the reason that I indeed started Brigand Dearth as well, is that we're all outcasts. The difference is that my people, have grasped being an outcast and grasped the opportunities of being in between the Drow world and the surface world has granted us. They are covetous of returning to the Underdark permanently.
Whereas you saw an opportunity and you took it, and now you capitalize on that opportunity.
Indeed.
Well done.
We are not so alike, you and I.
No. We're not so alike?
We're not so unalike, I should say.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I misspoke, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, okay, yeah, because my mind went, maybe he did mean that. Wait, did he mean that? Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and then, from the looks of things, there are 2 walls in between us and the compound. Rather, if somebody wanted to take the land route, there's a wall by 1, and there's a wall for 4, and there's
Correct.
a hamlet.
Correct. Well, not so much a hamlet as those are barracks and armory and things like that is what he's put there, because that's 3. So there's housing, barracks, armory, several buildings and patrols in that area 24/7.
Okay. And the 6th there is a lighthouse, which this underwater vehicle thing, Manta Ray, would escape that light that far, I guess?
The light is a remnant from prior to their occupation. It is simply what most lighthouses are, is warning of treacherous waters and rocks to shipping at night. I think they probably have lookout tower and lookouts there as well, but that is no worry for my Manta Ray. It has magical means of navigating in the dark. Whether that means by night or at depths where light cannot penetrate.
Impressive. And then, out of pure curiosity, what would such a vehicle cost?
What would it cost? I would not part with it for every single coin on the land. But if you wanted to purchase your own, you could go to the south and the Lanternese, but they are very jealous guarding of their technology. So,
oh no, of course.
I
bet
you would probably struggle to obtain your own for anything short of about 500,000 gold.
Right. Well, and then there would also be. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, beautiful. Does it travel realm space? Can you take it to Spelljammer?
No terror. There is no Spelljammer. Stop asking.
God damn it! One of these days. Right. $500,000.
We are not doing Dragon Heist, I should tell anyone in the stream, but I am stealing a fair bit out of it at the moment.
Take what you want. Why not? Right. An undersea vehicle. That is interesting.
Just to confirm, just in an OOC way, the plan is for them to bring us in the submarine to 5. We somehow get into 4 to the fort, and that's where
it's the complex underneath the fort, because that's on a cliff above the thing. But yes, basically.
Okay, and that's where we're expecting to find their leader, and also the Overgold is rumored to be there.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds simple enough.
What
Oh,
could
no,
go
yeah.
wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody in the group have stealth even learned?
Alton is really good at stealth.
So's Garvin. Garvin is the
Oh,
stealth
stop it.
of rogues.
Stop it.
Seeing as we've been to the bottom of the ocean and faced some creatures down there, and this manta, this underwater vessel travels there, would it be possible for us after, in case we need to make a hasty escape, to send creatures from the depths to attack the stronghold to cover our escape?
If that is something you have within your power, I am afraid I cannot control beasts from below the surface of the seas.
No. No.
Yeah, he does. He looks at you a little bit confused, as if to say, "How fucking powerful a cleric are you?" I cast summon Kraken. 1d12 Krakens appear.
Well,
And I think he does. He follows that up and just says, "Do you have a thought on that? On how to do such a thing?"
Well, since we recently spent some time beneath the waves and fought some of those creatures, I felt that a vehicle that traveled below the sea might be able to maybe send them all running around like an angry beehive. I don't know much about the undersea creatures, but sending a tribe of crazed Shahanguin onto them would maybe help in case we need to run away. Yeah.
I think that would probably not make us so stealthy.
I meant in case we needed to do a hasty escape.
I can see no way of enticing them to do so.
No,
They're fervently isolationist.
Right. Well, I feel like we have reached the. Unless anybody has anything else, it seems like we're final with this map for now, and so we can get over
give you
the
the
sightings.
map just now. I have another copy of it, so you can ponder over it.
And if you also have the internal structure map,
that is something I do not possess. I have never managed to get a member of my group in there and back out again.
I thought he said he had some basic information about the inside.
Yeah.
Just that there was a key and there was a complex underneath. That's basic information.
I misunderstood. Well then, I guess we shall go and prepare for the signing ceremony.
Certainly. And then he sort of calls someone to usher out and make sure they come in, and it's got 2 or 3 big bags of gold. It's like, as if to say, who gets these? And so just gestures as if to say he doesn't really care who it goes to.
Mara will take the bags of gold. She's not very strong, but she will happily carry all the gold.
Well, if you come back as the sun goes down, I shall have a feast prepared. We shall all imbibe some fine wine to celebrate our fledgling partnership.
Yes. To a successful venture.
Indeed.
Alton just gets up out of the seat and walks out.
The same guy that showed you in just sort of ushers you back down to your boat, to the boat that they brought you in, and rows you back across to the Storm Petrel.
I stand there waiting for money.
Well, you probably stand by Mara waiting for money.
They got all the money, and Mara
I was going to say, like, when Mara took the money, I imagine Scale was probably...
If Scale would have done or said something at that point, we can roll back a wee minute if you want.
Nah, it's all good.
No,
I'll say something on my boat.
I think just before leaving, I think Cirque would telepathically ask Jarlaxle that maybe that he would like to speak with him alone later.
Hold on, let me get this record.
I think that he just responds and just says, "If you wish to tarry just now, just stay. Let your companions go."
So before
Are you coming, Cyril?
Returns to the party. I'll wait here. I'll see you guys tonight.
Okay, insight check on that. You're not getting away with that. Because that's, for someone who really didn't want to be here, it's kind of odd.
Yes.
I don't have the best insight. In fact, I have to. 16.
If you're trying to hide your motives, roll a deception check, Cyric. But if you're not trying to hide your motives, just explain what Alton would pick up upon.
Let's roll with it. I'll try and deceive him. That's as well.
So that's a failure on your behalf. So what would Alton see if he's looking to see when he asks you that question, or when you say sorry you're staying back?
Yes, what would he see? Mostly the look of someone who doesn't really want to. How do I say this? Well, he's being caught red-handed, I guess.
Well, it's not so much you being caught red-handed.
Not that you're aware of. Yeah.
It's not that you're aware of. So is it more like there's just conflicting emotions, or is it not trying to put words in your mouth?
Is he like looking?
Are you nervous?
Jarlaxle, like with an intent. Like, does he look like he has like plans on the ship? And like, can we like see like, oh, he's like making like eyes at someone to talk to them?
Oh, you mean like that? No, I think that you probably could pick up on that. He just turned his. Well, he has been looking at Jarlaxle and then just turned to the party and said that he will be with you later. So I guess you could deduce that maybe, since you've been in my head a couple of times, that maybe there is something to it.
We see the glint of Siracord go up in his eyes.
Yeah.
The green dot appears in his eyes as he's broadcasting.
Sorry, he's online.
You can see the floating icon above his head.
Yeah.
It's like, what? This chat is all grayed out. What the hell? Okay. All right. So I think Alton will just, with a little bit of concern and a lot of, you can't lie to me. He will just sort of nod. He won't say anything, either will Quill, and he will make his way back towards the rowboat.
I think, well, noticing that, I can't lie, he will call out for you, Alton, one more time.
Alton will do the thing where he stops but doesn't look back.
Don't worry, I'll see you guys later. I'll talk to you then.
I think Quill will sort of chirp up from within the nested ivy beard.
So much.
And will say, "Be sure that you do." And he just continues walking.
Mm-hmm.
Cyric, try not to get into too deep a deal with Jarlaxle. He's very good at what he does. And
you are not. Mara just judging the shit out of him.
Yeah. So try not to finalize any deals with him. If you feel confident, you should stand by that. But try not to get into any large deals, because Jarlaxle is very good at what he does. Is Jarlaxle with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
in the
And she's
door
gonna
of his
point.
cabin.
She's gonna point to him and say, "You be nice. Whatever deal you may have with him, be nice."
He just does a sort of mwah, sort of mwah.
Yeah, I wouldn't hurt a fly. Right. So you boys have fun talking, and we will prepare for tonight.
And you know that it's only what he's suggesting. It's only like a couple of hours or something like that. It's not.
No, no.
It's not hours and hours and hours after.
No, no.
I take a power.
It's just that Tamara is like, if Sirik wants to stay, he could just talk to him, or they could have some sort of deal. But he's fully also free to learn all that stuff. Like, he could make all the deals he wants with Jarlaxle. Like, he could learn about, like, Tamara, this is Sirik trying out business things. From the looks of things, she doesn't know what they're going to talk about, but that's what it looks like.
That's not what it is to Alton.
No. It's sweaty brow on snake sex.
Well, just a little bit of insight. This is more of the time Sirik bolted off in one direction on his own in the cave system. This is a similar kind of vibe he's getting.
Yeah.
That's fine. So the rest of the party are down the ladder and back, and they're going across back to the Storm Petrel on the jolly boats.
Just one small thing is, I think since it's very rare for Scale to have the opportunity to be on such a big boat, she is going to dive off the set.
Nice.
That's absolutely it. That's right.
Yeah.
Is it one of those just peachy arching dives, like a shimmer?
Yeah.
No, nice.
As I said,
she tosses her hat to Mara and just dives into the
class, like it.
As I said last week, the crew of this boat are party to very odd occurrences, so they don't really take much notice of the fact that you've chosen to dive off and things. But that's
Mara points to the hat. Mara points to the hat and go, "Hey, free hat!" and she leaves it.
I think as we're being probably lowered on the rowboat, I think Alton is definitely giving a concerned look towards wherever Sirik is. Whether he's probably not making eye contact with him, but he's just sort of watching.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point you're sort of the doors closed, and Sirik and Jarlaxle are having their own powwow. And I think you turn Sirik, once your party's left, and Jarlaxle's just he's almost gone into an even more sort of strange pose, sort of one foot up.
He's doing a handstand,
sort of looking at you, like this with his hat, and
he's doing the classic power moves.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's Captain Morgan.
Yeah, he is. He's Captain Morgan. He absolutely is.
Well, for this conversation, I'll remove my headset because I don't want to know what's going on.
Okay, well, that's fair enough.
Fair enough.
The only thing, Mara didn't leave her hat. She wears it now. It's Mara's hat now.
Yeah.
Give us a thumbs up to come back, though.
Sure.
I mean, you don't have to leave, but if you choose to, that's fine.
I actually kind of want to hear this. Fuck it.
Yeah, that was just Jabber making his own choice.
Yeah. We'll cut her off.
I do want to. I want to hear this raw piece. So
yeah,
just cut off her own microphone.
So you have requested a private audience. I must admit, I am very intrigued.
Yes. Well, I guess I don't have to introduce myself.
Why not? Why not introduce yourself, your true self, your true motivations? I can sense things.
That's interesting. Well, give me just 1 second.
That's fine.
Well, my party knows me as Sirik. The name given to me was Shikshaika. And I come far away. And a long time ago, my people lost something dear to us. And something that was spirited. My sister.
You're cutting out quite a bit there, I'm afraid.
Am I? Sorry.
Yeah. No, don't worry.
No, I don't. Speared by the Dragon's Company. And my sister. That is why I asked for information on Maktar. You see, he came to our temple city, and he destroyed everything we had, including our breeding grounds. Soon, I am on a mission to place for us.
I can understand why you wish the introduction. I do not know Mactarsal particularly well, but I have, as I said, and alluded to, engaged him on a number of occasions. I can tell you this. I do not know certainly, but I pride myself on being a fairly good judge of character. He would not do that unless there was profit. He is either found something within your people's place that he coveted, that had a great value, or, which I suspect is the likelier of the two, somebody has contracted him to do that.
Yes, I figured as much. That our greatest temple was raided, but I do not know what was taken. I was never allowed in. No, but the higher priests were.
I know not very much of your people,
Well,
although I have met them in the past.
Who are you?
Well, I think I have shared an equal amount through the negotiations with your friend, but that is not why you asked to see me. I feel you have another boon to ask.
Yes. I felt something. I saw it. Idea to possibly could help. We place to create a place to stay.
Dombro's gone.
Oh, he's back.
Isn't he hosting as well?
It's okay.
I don't know if
Discord.
it's my internet that's really gone down.
No,
Yeah, we're here. We're still live.
I think it's just because when you're Cyric, I think Discord doesn't always register you're talking because it's quite quiet. So if you just did it a wee bit louder, because when you're talking normally, it never cuts out. It's only when you're in Cyric voice.
We're still live, guys. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just to let you know that we're still live.
I mean, it's dark.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
we're fixing it.
Discord just had a bit of a conniption.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to check something.
If you go into your Discord and you lower the you know the way it picks up your voice. If you lower that bar so it picks up more, you won't have the cutout.
The voice activity sensitivity.
Yeah, if you turn that down.
Input sensitivity. If you put it to voice activity and
make it very low, or make it how
pull the slider towards the left. I think a wee bit.
Yeah.
Sorry about this, guys.
Technical issues.
Issues.
Oh, and now I can't use that sweeping motion that I have on the other one for the technical issue.
Actually,
with the music.
I don't. I'm actually on what it's called dial-up right now. My phone's network.
Oh right, yeah.
I can't connect to my. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh well, we'll have to roll with this.
Yeah, we're fine.
I'll try and speak up.
Yeah, we're good.
See you. Yeah, that's good.
Sorry.
Just back into character.
We just restart that wee last couple of sentences. I think
it wouldn't be Saviours D&D if it wasn't scuffed. Okay. Our audience expects a certain amount of scuffedness, and we're here to provide.
Looks like Jabber's wearing a headphone again.
Yeah.
So what Cyric asked him was maybe if he could help him out with finding a new place for the brute to stay. being as resourceful as he is.
Well, what sort of... I know that your people are usually in much more, shall we say, clement temperatures than we have here.
Yes.
Would it be somewhere down there that you would be looking for?
Well, anywhere.
Chult or somewhere?
No, I was actually some underground, somewhere up here.
Ah.
If I understood exactly what...
Yes, this was here to ask you, was some, because they wanted a northern stronghold. Because
Yes.
although your brood was wiped out, there's still loads of things, but
Oh, yeah.
they're wanting to extend the reach of the yuan-ti.
Indeed.
So I take it something like an old volcanic cavern or something with heightened temperatures. I take it the lack of sunlight isn't a problem.
No problem at all. And a volcano. Now that sounds interesting. Sounds like a place fitting for us.
A few places spring to mind, but what do you offer in return for this help, as it is obviously separate to the negotiations? You're obviously not wanting to share this information with your friends. I say friends, the people you travel with.
Well, I would like to keep this between us.
That goes without saying.
Well, what you see that I now is all I have. But thing comes to mind. Sure.
How about I do this for you, and you owe me a favour? No questions asked. I will come to you at some point and ask you a favour, and you will do me that favour.
Simple
Does
as
that sound
that.
fair? As simple as that.
Very well. If I can secure a place for, I'll do. Absolutely do it.
I will... By the end of today, I shall mark a few places on a map where I know such places to exist. Now, you may need help clearing out some creatures from these areas. They're not necessarily safe in sight as they are now, as you wish them to be, I should say. But I definitely know 3 or 4 places that would absolutely suit your purposes. Does that suffice?
Absolutely.
Okay. I will have a map marked with these locations and write up a second contract just between you and I for signing. We'll maybe sign that before your friends come back. Sorry, your travelling companions.
I'm staying right here, so it's done.
You can stay on the boat, but you shall have to leave once these discussions have finished here. There's other things I need to attend to. But there is staterooms elsewhere. You can make yourself comfortable.
Of course.
And he thinks and goes, I was having a dealing with a yuan-ti not that long ago. I may have something that is... Let's seal the deal. And he summons a thing and a minion in and comes out and it's like, I don't know how you particularly like these things, but I do know that a favoured delicacy of your people is plumpet. Is that how you say it?
Boom.
And he goes, I will not do it myself, but he gives you 2 jars and there's 2 pickled plumpets.
Yes.
I believe they have been preserved in a traditional way to your people. The fur and all the internal organs and the skeletons are there, but they have just been soaked in vinegar to preserve them.
I imagine that he's examining these bottles or cans before putting them down on the table. And when he looks up to Sirik, there's drool.
Just drool and an unhinged jaw.
Yeah. And then he,
I'll think about it.
Owen, yes, it's been so long since I've seen one of these.
Well, I'll make sure and try and get a few more for my supplies if our paths ever cross again. I do like to treat my guests properly. What if we say one just now to seal this deal, and then I will have the other one ready for when we have the banquet with your friends, so you have something good to enjoy then as well.
Sirik stretches forth his hand to this.
He just puts... Oh, you wanted to shake, sorry.
Shake. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He gives you a very firm grasp and shakes.
And he takes the canister and holds it quite close to himself. I'll see you at the bank.
And for my memory, how big is a plumpet? Is it like a sort of a koi poo sort of big sort of rodenty thing? I know it's sort of guinea pig like, but bigger, aren't they?
A bit bigger, not much. It's
Okay.
quite sizable.
For the benefit of the people at home, what's a plumpet, Squid?
Right, well, this was during our... Oh, no, wasn't it? It was pre-stream, the plumpet, wasn't it? Sorry, I apologise.
We even found a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we found a picture.
If you can find it, you can put it up if you Dombro can get it. But
Back there.
prior to streaming, we were in a small town called Jarlaxle, and there was a very sweet young girl who ran a pet store in the marketplace for her alcoholic father, who was not very nice to her. And she thought Sirik was just the loveliest person because he was buying a lot. She decided in her own mind that he was a pet trader because he was always buying lots of small pets. But unbeknownst to her, Sirik, not being from these lands, thought that this was just another food stall like any other and was going round the back of the town's curtain wall and eating them whole. And then I think we almost as well, as a bit of flavour, decided that you sort of regurgitated the fur and the
Skeleton.
and the bones,
Yes.
a bit like an owl regurgitates the pellet when it eats prey like that. So there was a little bit round the side of the wall where there's a big pile of yuan-ti food pellets that you'd vomited up.
Indeed.
But you were always trying to find something that was as beautifully tasting as the plumpet from your homeland.
Oh,
And
yes.
I think that was why I mentioned guinea pigs there, is because that is the closest native thing that you've ever found to the taste of a plumpet.
Indeed.
And she was so happy every
Thank
time.
you for that reminder, Dobro. I'd forgotten that was pre-stream.
Yeah.
Oh,
Post-stream, I should say.
And I have a proper connection now. Wonderful.
hey!
Nice.
She was so happy every time. Oh, you're back to buy my pets? Yes. Wonderful.
A kitten. I suppose I could try one.
With the big sad eyes. Perfect.
Wonderful.
So you are, unless you've got anything else to say to Jarlaxle, you are escorted out and into a more open stateroom, big plush seats, everything. There's purple velvet everywhere. The whole interior's very fantouche. You're offered drinks and things like that, so you can have any sort of normal thing that you want if you wish anything. Do you do
Take some.
anything? Yeah, that's fine.
No, it just takes some simple wine.
Okay, and I think at that point we cut back to the Storm Petrel. Do the rest of the party have any? Does Alton speak to the party about Cyrix mysteriously remaining behind, or?
We'll speak to Mara.
Okay.
Speak to any of the others. I do believe he is up to something, Miss Mara.
What would Cyrix be up to?
That I don't know.
Ah.
All I know is he has been this way before.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that he will be this way again.
Okay. When was he last like this?
When we were tracking down the Silken Woe, the first time, in the caves, I remember someone was struggling to climb, and he just bolted off into a room on his own. I struggled to keep up. He's got much longer legs than I do.
He does.
But he seemed like he had a purpose, even though we had no real purpose other than to be quiet and careful.
Maybe Cyrix people just have a certain type of behavior when they get very focused on something. He obviously wanted to trade for something with Jarlaxle. Maybe he wanted to get more information about the Dragons Company. Or maybe he wanted to find something from his homeland. It's hard to know.
I have no doubt. But at this point, Mara, do you not find it a little bit odd that he would want to do it on his own?
I don't know. I think Cyrix is trying to learn things about people here in our part of the world, and he may have seen me in negotiation and wanted to try it himself. Maybe he's never done it before.
It's more than that, Miss Mara. I know deception.
Mm-hmm. And what was he trying to deceive or subtle away?
His purposes for staying behind.
Well, of course, but
why would he do that?
Well,
why would he so headstrongly take off in the cave when silence and safety was the order of the day?
Well, Cyrix is a different people and different culture. Who knows? He eats small woodland creatures whole.
That's
he
besides the point.
I don't know. You eat only jam.
I eat fruit too. He whips out half a banana. It has been in his pocket for way too long, and it's just sort of like slaps out of his hand.
Yummy.
Well, very well, Alton. We'll keep an eye on him, but currently we don't have anything to suspect him of, other than that he wanted to talk with Jarlaxle in private. Do you have anything else that you think might be related to it?
No.
Insight? Can I?
Mm-hmm. And the same thing, like either tell what insight would be, or if you are trying to be deceptive, roll a deception check.
29.
With an insight of that goddamn high,
I see.
You believe okay, so what you gain from that is that he doesn't quite, he's not lying to you, but he is, like, in other words, he doesn't have anything else, as you put it. He doesn't have anything else, but he looks like he's been kind of hurt by this, and just, yeah, you just see a level of sort of worry, you know, and maybe something. Maybe he did, if he kind of wishes he probably saw it sooner. But yeah, there is a deep mistrust and an assuredness of his convictions.
Okay. So Mars kind of stare at Alton a little while, and then, very well, Alton, we'll try and figure out what's wrong, so you can put these worries to rest. We shouldn't have to mistrust each other within the group, especially when dealing with charismatic and dangerous characters such as Jarlaxle.
Well, we are also to do something probably very dangerous, and you know I've sworn my life to all of you.
I know, Alton.
I demand honesty in return.
Well,
It is not a request anymore.
No, of course not. We need to be honest and forthright with each other. When we get Cyric back, we can talk to him and try and figure out what just happened. Because there is a certainty to you.
I know deception, Miss Mara.
I know. Well, we'll figure it out, Alton. Because it seems like it's more of a gut feeling right now, but usually, if you follow your gut, you'll find something.
Also, that Jarlaxle fellow.
Mm-hmm.
Very curious. Very smart.
I know.
He does not lie in a traditional way. He wraps everything he says in truth. Very hard to read, that one.
Indeed so.
Very hard to trust, that one.
Yeah. That's why
And
we
at the
need to be
same
extra careful.
time, you really can trust him.
Yeah.
In a bad way.
I know. We can trust him to do that which is best for him at all times.
Yes.
So as long as we make sure that screwing us over stings more than...
Yeah, should we take some measure to make sure that we have an alternative route? For instance, if this machine he spoke of wasn't there upon our exit?
Yes, that would be very helpful if we would have the ability to, for example, teleport somewhere. Or if it isn't there, then our exit strategy...
If only I had found a goddamn magical circle.
Yep. Well,
see, Neverwinter is pretty light on them.
Yeah. Currently, if we want him to be to keep up his end of the bargain at the end, we can try and make sure that future dealings will also be profitable, and also try to make sure that the people that that he might put with our group will stay with us throughout the end. Like he said, everybody joins willfully. And if he leaves with them among us, then their end might not be so fortunate. Do you have anything that can help us traverse water quickly?
Sure. No, I can. Not that I'm aware of, necessarily. I know, Cyric is potentially has a way of traversing water quite quickly. With the thing he found.
Yes.
But I mean, that I think he's not quite sure. Well, I mean, to be honest, he's done it twice and it's been the same thing twice, so I presume it's the same thing. Forget that first part.
We should plan for some contingencies. Either way, we are changing the power shift in the region.
I just think you say future business dealings with Jarlaxle. I just think once we get this done, We should probably forget we ever met him.
Yes. Up until the point where we might actually need him again. Which he could orchestrate, but we shouldn't... No, but you're right. We shouldn't deal with men of such...
He called you a prick tease.
I know.
What's that?
We'll talk about that some other time.
Okay.
No, we should try not to deal with men of such different moral fiber, especially them that are so self-sure. Then again, that could be a benefit. No, yes, but he enjoyed insulting us, and yes, we should worry about meeting him again, or any of his organization, or any drow again.
Okay. Oh, I think Scale wants gold.
Scale is literally on the side of the ship, just staring at you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if Scale will get her gold because I have this fine hat, and I think the hat makes the captain of the ship.
I think Alton will look to you and sort of say, I get the feeling if Scale wants gold, she gets gold.
Oh,
Let's
yes,
go
she
on.
has
Also, I have more than one hat.
I've only got this one.
my plan.
The tri-quarter he bought in town.
No. Fine, you have bested me, Captain Scale. I return the hat.
She'll climb up over the edge of the boat onto the deck.
And yes, Alton, if she wants money, she can make it. She's a captain of her own vessel, and she has these two helpful young men.
Yeah, but about that 5,000 gold.
Yes?
How much is mine?
How much is yours?
How far do you come with us?
What gold?
I know you have a bag of holding. I'm not an idiot.
Oh, that's true. Let me see now.
Well, as you hold on, Mara. Scale, as you know, this is for essentially for our work that we are going to be doing. I presume you will be joining us.
How much money are you giving?
Okay, and Alton just sort of sees a deal happening, throws his hands up, and just goes to the crow's nest.
Mara leans on to the...
I was paid to take you to Luskin. If you are taking a different boat, that means my job is done.
My god, that is true. I wonder what aid I can hire in Luskin.
Probably none, because you're going to be sneaking in.
Well, not into Luskin. It's outside of Luskin.
No,
what do you think your services
to Luskin
were?
First?
Weren't we?
You're taking the ship from here.
You're espionaging the shit out of it.
Right.
We're about to James Bond this bitch.
I wonder if I can hire some aid of Jarlaxle's crew. Maybe, maybe not. What do you think?
Mara gets an acorn thrown at her head.
Mara just gives Alton the side eye. Right, Scale. What do you think your service is worth?
Well, let me count. Including your dwarf right there, there's about 5. And if I do a 5th of the work, I'd say 1,000 gold.
1,000 gold. 1,000 gold, and you commit a 5th of the work for what exactly?
1,000 gold.
1,000 gold.
No,
Alton was not there.
The 5th of what work?
The 5th of us going in, killing some weird drow lady, getting your overgold back, and I'm fairly certain I can get us out.
See, that would
also,
be...
can't clerics walk on water?
Some can. The ones who decided to keep that ritual around, or that spell, but... Anyway, I've already used it once. Right, so this payment that we recently received was for the sharement of a piece of information that we got from a previous job that we pulled. But dealing with this situation,
I think Scale's just kind of leaning against the wall, just like, think about it all you want. I'll do it for 1,000.
Okay. well then, Scale, I'm afraid that the market is not simply going to pay you 1,000 gold for us to sort of stick.
Okay,
with
then
us.
get off my boat.
That is true. She'll look down at the tiny little boat. Is the what's it called?
Yeah, it's slapping up against the side of the boat.
Oh no! They've just
they
dropped
left
the
already.
boat and they've gone back to the eye catcher and they'll be back
Motherfucker.
in a couple of hours.
They're gone already.
How far is
They're not hanging around on your boat.
how far is
No,
the
no.
boat? How far is the eye catcher?
Maybe 100 meters or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think Alton would sort of shout down, well, I can make it across quite handy.
Oh,
Alton,
no, it's not.
no.
It's not like I'm abandoning you. That would be a failure of the job. You would be on Jarlaxle, and he would get you to where you want.
Yeah. Let's see. 1,000 gold is such a high number.
It's actually a fifth of what you have. Probably less than a fifth, because you probably have a lot more.
Who knows? It's all an investment.
Okay. At some point, we're going to have to do some rolling, maybe.
Yeah.
Just to stop this.
Either that, or for the sake of brevity,
Yeah,
do
please.
you want Jabber to continue as part of the group because you're kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
that fuck off.
That's the duality of this. Just to fuck with
there
Jabber's
has to be a
character.
little bit of time sometimes. Tim. You just have to step out of your character and just
I know.
learn what's happening.
Yeah, this is like when we wanted to kind of take the horses instead to Luskin. That might be more fun. No, yeah.
So I
don't
think
know.
what we can say is this sort of dueling happens, but I think it gets explained because Mara's a bit juiced. She's not had to exercise these particular mercantile type muscles for a while. So she's kind of in sort of alpha negotiator mode.
It's like she's ready to negotiate, and Scale is like, yes or no. It's not. It's not like
yeah,
and someone who wants to barter, and someone who's just like, mm-mm.
Yeah, so I think that continues for a while until eventually that is what is agreed upon.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to use DM powers to just see what's happening. I don't step in very often.
But that's the thing. Mara, that's what Mara wanted as well. She just kind of wanted to push as long as she could to be like, maybe these two guys, they are quite handy on a ship, aren't they?
Which is absolutely great, I think sometimes, but knowing that's happened, but I think sometimes we just need to truncate that little bit of roleplay a wee bit, so hopefully that's okay.
Payment on completion.
It probably takes a good hour of just back and
it is a good point to note, because that's going to probably be a little bit of a prickle between the two characters that's not going to go away anytime soon.
It was kind of there on their first meeting too, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Payment on completion.
I think that's happened. You all sort of get ready in whatever way that you wish for a thing, and you see the boat come back a couple of hours to take you over. And I think that's where we'll have a wee break. Get some sustenance and something to eat, comfort break, and we shall be back in 5 to 10 minutes.
See you soon.
See you then.
See you, everybody.